Hello. Welcome to another video. Today I want to go over a bit the ship lines, my recommendations, when do you think you should go for one line or the other, and inside those lines, the ships that I do recommend personally. Now, before all of that, you gotta keep in mind that I have not played with every single ship. I've played with some, and I've fought against some other ships, as well as I've got recommendations from, for example, my guild, on which ships I should get or not. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna have 100% accuracy on which ships are the best and which are not, because I will need to unlock every single ship, play with it in PvP mainly, for like X amount of period of time with different setups, different cannons, different ranges, different consumables. Anyone will need to do this to be able to give you like 100% accurate on what ships are best or not inside each line. But I do believe the ones that I'm gonna tell you, you will not go wrong with those. Maybe they are not the better or like the extremely meta ships, but you will be fairly good with those. Now, we're gonna start with the lines. So I'm gonna explain a bit how I see the different ship lines, what playstyle do I recommend you go for one or the other, and you pretty much just decide what fits you. So I'm gonna start with the fast one. For me, these ships are mainly the solo players or like with your small group, and you're going like mainly full open world PvP, and you're just looking to gank other people. Why? You're really fast, which is probably one of the best things you can be on open world, because you're gonna go engage and suddenly 15 dudes that are friends with the guy that you're targeting show up. Well, guess what do? Just run away. Things that you cannot do, for example, with a heavy line, because they are way slower. So for open world PvP, especially when we're talking about small little setups, the speed is really valuable to get out of situations that are really ugly. Another really good perk is the maneuverability on the ships. It's really fast. Even HP I'd say is fine. I'm gonna say the weakest point is gonna be damage, mainly because you don't have as many cannons on the ship. So killing some ships will take you some time, but again, like if you're killing someone, his friends show up, you always have the option to run away. Now, what ships do I like from this line? First one I'm gonna say is Creole. I'm using this ship to level up until Poltava. The things that I like about the ship is, one, yes, the damage is pretty low, to be honest, but speed is really good, and the maneuverability is crazy. You're even able to take like 3 to 4k HP, and this is PvE though, NPCs, because you're able to stick to the back or the stern of the enemy ship non-stop without them being able to shoot you once, which I think is really crazy and showcases the maneuverability of the ship. You can use the ship to in bigger groups, but your role is going to be way different, which is you're going to work as a scout kinda, and then you're just going to try to finish off targets that are, for example, trying to flee or trying to go repair. You're going to be that annoying guy that's literally coming out of nowhere when the enemy is like 300 HP, is trying to repair, and you just sink them. That's the only, like, you cannot go face to face versus like ships of the line. You will get absolutely destroyed. The other worthwhile ship that I'm gonna comment is Poltava, which keep in mind, this is what I've been told, probably this is overall the best ship. I've been recommended to go for this if I want to do, for example, ganks. It has good speed, 2.1k HP base, which is pretty decent. Like, again, this third rate, it's not second. Bellona. So, for example, 1k HP less than a heavy, and just 600k HP, 600k, my god, 600 less HP than, for example, our combat line third rate, which I think is a fairly amount of durability. 9.6 speed, 8.2, 7.5. So you can really see the speed increase. And look at the maneuverability. You have 95, 80, that's a huge diff, and 62. So as you can see, fast ships, really quick. You can angle almost all the time towards the enemy cannons to reduce incoming damage. Yes, you don't have much armor, but still, if you manage to angle, you will reduce by a good chunk the enemy damage. Ingermerland, you can go for it. Is a really good ship, but I don't know, I mean, obviously, yes, if you're really grinding the fast line, go with the Ingermerland. But for example, myself, who's just focused on heavies, but I want like a fast ship just to solo gank or do stuff like that, I'm gonna stay at the Poltava. I'm not gonna grind all the resources for the Ingermerland. If you like a lot this playstyle, sure, go for the second raid. Now, we're gonna move to the combat tree. So this is what I describe as a jack of all trades. And that's good and that's bad at the same time. Because for example, with combat ships, you can do anything you want, but you will do nothing at a really good level. And that's at the same time the problem. Because if you go into alliances, for example, and you try to participate in a port battle, for example, or on a big fight, the alliance will prioritize heavy ships. Because they are better designed for that than combat. And let's say you're going open world solo. You're gonna be better off on a fast ship, because there's gonna be, if the enemy comes up with like 2-3 fast ships, they will be able to catch on you and sink you. So that's the issue. You're gonna be good overall, but you're not gonna be excellent at anything. If you want a ship that you can use on every single instance of the game, combat line is the line for you. But my recommendation is gonna be choose one line, focus on that, specialized on something, and then focus on the same thing I'm doing. I rush the heavy line because I want to participate with those big fierce raids, and then I'm going for a fast one for open world PP mainly. That doesn't say you cannot use those ships in combats, but they're gonna be less efficient than, for example, heavies. Now, my recommendations on here, one ship is gonna be Essex. This is a fairly decent ship. So I personally would like which I gotta remember which one was it that you start. I'm not sure. I don't remember if I had the Blackwing or the Salamander. I don't remember. But yeah, I'd go with the ASX. I'd skip Anson. The main reason I'm gonna say skip Anson, this ship is really controversial. So there are some people that like it, and there's some other people that really hate it, and there's some people that even say this ship is bugged. Meaning, in theory, it like takes more damage. I have no info on that, so I cannot say this. But I think overall, when you have people saying it's good and you have people is bad, then that means it's mid as fuck. And my recommendation for safety reasons and not waste your investment is gonna be skip it for now. Now, here's the problem though. You have an Essex, you skip Hanson. Now, Victory is really good. It's like a really decent ship. Like you can see, for example, durability 3.7, speed 7.1, maneuverability 66, the amount of cannons 49, heavy weapons, okay, per side. If you compare that to Apostolov, for example, as you can see, it has 10 less cannons on the sides, but it has weapons on front, behind, maneuverability 66, so you can see a huge increase in maneuverability, faster, not like, again, 5, no, how much is it, 3, 4, 700 less HP, but the armor 10 versus 8. I think Victory is a really good ship. If you like the combat line, I recommend you go for the Victory. The issue is how do you get there? Because again, remember, you can skip purchasing ships. The issue is the farther. So for example, if you try to grind Essex to the Victory, the distance is so huge that it's gonna be like way less efficient. You can skip one and it's completely fine. Like this will be 1, 2, and 3. Like that's a bit crazy. So my recommendation is like, it's hard, you see, because the issue is the amount of resources that a Victory is gonna cost you is insane. Okay, like it's insane amounts of resources. If you grind the second one, you have the second raid, and then you need to grind from 0. If you skip the second one, you will have the resources that you save from the second raid for the first one. I think this is gonna be up to you. I think I will still go for the Sans Pareil. I think it's a good ship overall, like pretty decent. You want the Victory, I'd go for Sans Pareil and then for the Victory. Now, we're gonna move into the transport ship. I mean, these ships are pretty straightforward. It is literally what you do to haul resources across the map. My recommendations here are gonna be Russia. This is a really good ship. It is fast, as you can see, 22 hold, and honestly, it's the only stats you care about. Then it's gonna be, I'd skip the Falmouth and I'd go for the Mordaunt. As you can see, 34k cargo, that's way bigger. And then if you need the first rate for some reason, you go with this one, but I don't think it's really needed. Like, the amount of resources you're gonna spend on everything crafting this, I think you're better off staying at Mordaunt or even Russia. Like, I'm gonna stay at Russia. Yes, I lose 12k cargo. What is it, one more travel? Unless I need to cross the wall map, not that huge of a difference. So yeah, if you're not doing like massive cargo runs to make gold, I stay with Russia. If you're doing massive gold runs, I mean, you kind of want the first rate because you need to cross the wall map, or stay with the Mordaunt and be a little bit less efficient. Now, on the heavy line, la creme of la creme. Okay, this is what I main. Recommendations, St. Martin and Constitution, both are really good. These are the ships you're gonna be using at the start for Arena. You can start with St. Martin, and the meta currently is Constitution. I do believe you wanna go for both. Yes, in theory you could skip St. Martin, you get the Phoenix, skip this one, and you craft instantly Constitution. But St. Martin is a good ship, and I think for the amount of resources it takes, I think it's worth it personally. So I take these two, then I'd skip Bellona. Redoutable is not really good. The only reason Bellona is better than Redoutable. The only reason is you want the first rate, obviously. So, you know, like, you're really not gonna be using Bellona that much. So go to Redoutable. Redoutable is being used sometimes even for alliance fights, so that's a plus. And then you go for Apostolov, or you do like me and you buy the premium, which is Santissima Trinidad. The main difference between Apostolov and Santissima, as you can see, this one has more HP and 1 point more of broadside armor in exchange for firepower. So this has 63 cannons per side versus 59, so that's a difference of 4 cannons. We could be talking, I don't know, like 200-300 more damage, kinda. Well, I mean, I gotta say, if you got the money, Santissima Trinidad is way easier to get, because look what you need for the Apostolov. Like, you need 1001 beams, almost 2000 battle marks, almost 3000 bulkheads, 719 canvas, 180 plates, and then you need 1 construction license, which I think right now, if you like try to buy it rather than grind it, goes for like, I don't know, like almost 1 mil gold. Like, is a bit less, but yeah, crazy amounts. I decided to go with the Santissima mainly because, I don't know, I always like this ship. I'm able to afford it. I like the extra cannons. I wish it had a bit more tankiness closer to the Apostolov. Like, the 1 armor, not that huge of a diff, I can buy. The HP though, I'd prefer if they had like similar HP, you know? But you might say it's only 4 cannons. Those 4 cannons, depending, like if you're using, for example, medium or long, is not that much damage diff. But when you're using carronades, you start feeling that. Now, by the way, I forgot to say this. Heavy players are players who like to tank, who really like to like big fights. Now, I like to brawl, but you're not gonna be brawling much in port battles. Port battles are mainly fought at a distance. But when you're fighting, as in the video showcased, last one, on open world PvP, you can actually sometimes get close, because, like, if you saw the video, there was an instance where we got the call to push through the enemy. I was in the middle with 2 victories at each side. That was really cool moment, and you can brawl sometimes, but it's not like the most common thing. Now, we're gonna move into Siege, which I'm gonna call it now. I think this is the most OP broken line that there is in the game currently. The main reason is really high alpha damage, because I think mortars and that bullshit needs a nerf. Secondly, they are fast. And third, they are tanky. And it's not like they are tanky because they have lots of armor. The issue is, like, when you make a ship small, yet it carries the biggest guns in the game, and the HP is not bad, they become actually more tanky than, in my opinion, they should be. So, for the Siege line, the La Royale, really good. I'm gonna say now the best Siege ship, I think, is Shen, if I understood it correctly, and Royale. Those are really the metas for big fights. Kobuxon, I see this used non-stop in arena, really strong. Same for the. Wait, no, actually, is the premium one. Yeah, this is tier rate. I had a couple fights with this. It's pretty much like similar to this, but this one, like the tier rate carries more firepower. This you can fight in 5th rate, which you'll find easier enemies to fight. The real strength of the siege is that it has no counter. That's my main complaint against this line. You're gonna be sitting behind your allies, shooting a mortar that deals almost like 500 damage per hit, absolutely insane. You have good speed, bad armor, but it gets offset because the radius of your ship is really small. For the enemy to sink you, they need to get through the wall enemy ships. By the time they do that, they are already super low HP to the point that you might just be able to kill them, literally with your shitty cannons that the ship have. How would they grind this line is I mean, as you can see here, the issue with this line is there's no fourth rate. So get a Red Queen, then you unlock the Kobuxon. You can start doing arenas with this and it's really good, and then go for the L'Oreal. That will be the way I do it. Weapons are expensive, but they're really strong. Types of player for this, I don't think this should be your main line. I think you should go for one of the others and then work on this. You're gonna be hitting from afar. It's not the most exciting gameplay, but you will hit really hard. You have crowd control because you can literally throw barrels that make the sea on fire, which are really strong. As you can see, game difficulty low. It's not like you need lots of thinking on how to play them, and battle power high because they're absolutely broken. I think they need to nerf the damage that these ships deal to other ships. It makes no sense. It's too high. Now, Imperial. So these are the strongest ships in the game, pretty much, even more than premiums, but they are really hard to get. The balloon is a mimic. I saw it for the first time the other day. You pretty much see a balloon flying, and that's a guy moving. Black Prince, pretty decent. The thing is, every single ship in here is good. They're not really bad. For example, Hurricane is absolutely insane. This is the real heavy deal. 8k HP, with certain builds you can go upwards of 10k HP. You have 85 weapons per side, which is Santissima is the next one in line. As you can see, you can have 22 more weapons on the broadsides, which is crazy. And then you have other skills like mobile outpost. You can allow friendlies to spawn next to you. You get one more upgrade for free pretty much. So yeah, I mean, this ship is actually insane, but really expensive to get unless you get lucky with keys. I really like the design of the octopus. I really want to go for this one due to the design. This ship is literally ships that you see in Pirates of the Caribbean or any movie like that. Really cool ship. If I ever had to go for one, probably it would be this. The main reason, to be honest, is I already have the Santissima. Maneuverability 42, as you can see 54. And the main playstyle I've seen from Hurricanes is, so where is it? Here. This pretty much locks you in place. You get a huge damage reduction, but you're usually just looking forward to the enemy while you're locked in place, versus any regular first rate, which is a bit more maneuverability, shooting. So I feel, this is more for the warleads of the game, so they don't get instantly sunk. They work as a respawn point, not as much for the regular player. Although sure, if you can choose between 20 Santissimas or 20 Hurricanes, you go with 20 Hurricanes and no Santissima will be left alive, that's for sure. But yeah, from this line, it's a bit where you want, to be honest. Every single one is good, there's no doubt about it. I'm probably going for the octopus. I like the... oh, I didn't know this. Bro, an invisible ship? Okay, I actually maybe need to read every single one of those. Integrity. Okay, this one has nothing special. Now I really want the octopus. You can make your ship invisible? What? I think I might grind after I get my Poltava. I think this is gonna be my next goal. It's gonna be a real grind and a slow one. I mean, maybe I swipe a bit in the middle, you know, but like look at the stats, almost 3k HP, which is low. It is a really fast ship at 8.3, really good maneuverability, armor 6.8, but you can crank it up to like 8 point something. Cannons 37 is pretty decent, plus 8 there. 10 swivel guns, which is even more than it's the same as a Centissima, it's insane. Unique windrows, which you can equip. Unique sail armament will allow transversal under sharp angles towards the wind, surpassing other ships. However, when going directly against the wind, the sails will block each other and speed will decrease. Really interesting perks, but the invisibility one is kind of crazy. This one is really interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Octopus is gonna be the one that I grind for the Imperial. Now, premium and unique ships. I don't know much about all of them, but I'm gonna recommend the ones I've seen. Red Arrow, absolutely broken. This ship is just insane. You can put a mortar. It has cannons in front, as you can see here. You can you can literally just sit looking at the enemy and just like chew their HP through the mortar and the frontal cannons, which is absolutely busted. QK HP, it goes up obviously with improvements. I don't know. This ship really, really good for arena, for example. Firestorm, another ship that's really, really, really strong. Lots of people use it. Where others are good? Centissima, for sure. One of the meta pierce rates for big fights. That extra cannons give you that damage. Fairly easier to get than some of the other pierce rates. And it overall is pretty good. Like, that's the thing. So if you just check, for example, slightly more maneuverability than the Apostolov, slightly more speed. So it gives you, you're able to angle a bit more. That being able to angle a bit more might actually make a Centissima, for example, more tanky than an Apostolov, just because you take less damage through angling. Cuisson, really good ship. Really annoying to deal with. Like, again, this is what I say. This has a mortar, and look at the radius. Hitting this is not easy. You need to cross the whole enemy fleet, you need to get next to this, and then you need to single target cannon, because if you try to do like a full broadside, you will miss most of the shots. And it has 1.4k HP. For me, some of the siege weapons are a bit broken. Another really good one is Shen, one of the meta siege ships. Really, really, really strong. And lastly, I'm gonna say the Flying Cloud for transport. This ship really, really good from what I've been told in terms of transporting, maybe even the best one you can have in the game. Regarding the other ones, there's maybe something that's good, but I don't have the knowledge on. I mean, I think this one is good as a first rate, but honestly, for this price, I will buy a Centissima more like. But yeah, hope this is helpful. Hope this set you in a good foot to see which ship line you want to rush, and catch you in the next one.